I'm somewhere in there. Welcome. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Are you ready to watch? I mean, that's what's so great about like online. Are you ready to watch? Do you need a few more minutes? Do you need to follow me? Like, you don't want to just turn it on and boom, you're starting already and your mind is not even in the realm. I mean, for me, it's only 11:23 in the morning, which is actually like saying 11:11. But the 23 would be the 23rd hour, which would be 11 p.m. You'd have to add the p.m., or you'd say the 23rd hour. Otherwise, it'd be 11 p.m. If you said a.m., it would mean first. If you had put p.m., it would be second. Do you know why the difference between a.m. and p.m.? There's many ways of looking at this in numerology, but both the A's are the same. Agreeable, agreeable. A.M. is to the love of man, the first 13 cards, the first 13 moons, the first season of the 13th moon, is it? Or whatever it is. Anyways, wow. When do we start this video? 1:11. I guess we'll start it now. I really came on here more or less to say, I'm home from work already. Got there early and came home real early. All I got was 2 pointers of a finger, and you know what? When you work around somebody that's grumbly inside and you're never sure what he's going to say, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. Something that's challenging and enticing, but not with this person. It never has been. And secondly, I'm sort of much, what you can say, a leader, but I can follow if the following is stable. You know what I'm saying? I don't own the place. I'm just putting my number in to collect a number on a number with another number that ends up in a place with letters saying B-A-N-K. You ever think of B-A-N-K Bank? Let me tell you one thing about B-A-N-K Bank. Okay. It's the second letter and the first letter, which means it's the reverse of 12. It is 21 creation. 21 is under the line of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. It is also the connection of the black and the jack. 21. 2, 1, 1, 2. It's usually all the same. But here we're starting off with the secondary world first. The N, although it's the 14th letter and shows the passage of 1, 2, 4, 5, or 1 1/4, or 5 times 5 times 5 in one of the Mayan counts, one of the ways to show it up, which is 125, adding on to give you the extra day. Okay, now where am I? B-A-N-K, 215, can also be looked at. 512, right? 512, and then the K is just a memory, because the K is just like the B, but on level number 2. First you have to get the money, to open the bank, to loan out the money, or to start a company to get the money, so it's A, B, V is what they would actually call it if you want. Where are we next? Things that I have been working on lately, because I just jumped in here, and I have a question. Is the 2016 Olympics in Africa? I mean, I saw a lot of different places in the paper today. The only one that stuck to me was the 2016 Olympics in Africa, because it's green and yellow, the flag, the 4 and the 6 horse, bringing everything back together. It's almost like we jumped over a cycle between this Olympics and the next Olympics. In my mind and my feelings, we have jumped over something. We jumped over a cycle, because something in between will turn the world one way, and when we open in Africa in 2016, this will be a whole new world. We went from African and the Lion King to now the Olympics. It's Africa, or is it Brazil? And I'm all wrong and all screwed up. Regardless of the place, it's going to tell me a story that I can tell you a story. So I chose to tell you this story. Okay? It's the green flag with the yellow. Is that Brazil? Can I look it up? Let's make it a little bit more sensible, so what I say might have a little bit of a meaning to me. You know what I'm saying? African flag. I'm on a computer right now pushing some buttons, looking up to see what I get. No, it's not the African flag. No, well, maybe, let me see one of these. No, I don't see any of the flags that I saw. Well, sort of looks like this one over here. Wow, Tanzania. Okay, if you take a look at Tanzanian flag, it's just like looking at the Queen of Spades. She has the exact same mark at her center. The exact same mark, Tanzania, 20 and 26, 46. It also says 46. That's retarded. So what does the Brazilian flag look like? Let's take out and see the Brazilian flag. Yeah, that's a good shot. So let's punch that in, and what we're going to come up is, yes, that's what it was. It was the Brazilian flag, navy blue, spots of the world all over it. Inside, a yellow diamond supported by an exterior cutout green background. Okay, it shows the energy around the world, and it shows the life around the diamond, what gives the diamond life. That background puts man in his world. So this would be just about the same thing. Where is this located? Brasilia? Brazil? Where's Brazil? I'm so fucked up. What time is it already? You guys didn't disappear on me yet, did you? Okay, I seem to have lost my video. Ah, there I am. Hi. Okay, this is what I got to go back to and work on, okay? First of all, S and T, everybody knows, is perfection. Well, X and O, R and U, and S and T are all 39s. One is XO the game, which is the egg and the X-Man, okay? And the other one is S and T, can also be stand for street, S and T, and RU is rue in French, and that means street. How ironic. Can you say the word ironic? ST equals 39. ST can stand for street. RU in French can stand for street. They both equal 39. How crazy is that? One street might be going northeast, the other one, one street, yeah, might be going northeast. I think we do this and like this. I don't think we go east and west and north and south. I think we cut around all our streets. I don't think we can go straight anywhere, really. And that's why all our cotton clothing, the way the knitting is all done, I don't think we can just do this. I think the only way is to do this. Now, I got to think about that for a second. I just said we can't go straight. Now, if we can't go straight, okay, then we're going around. Okay, so if we can't go straight, right, this is the way I figure it would be. You go up here, turn right here, turn left here, turn right here, come down here, go this way, and this is the only way around. And these are the corners. So each corner must be split in half. Each corner gets split in half. You know why? Well, to start with, you've got the corner 9, above it is 6, and to the left is 8. And you know what's really screwed up? I also see it on the snowflake too. The snowflake, they're all the same. Let me tell you one thing, what I believe now. I believe one of the biggest hoaxes in our entire lives is the snowflake. Because they're not all different. The backing, the basic, is all the same. It's a structure with a face. It's just like saying nobody looks the same. But each snowflake fell at a different time, giving it an accumulation if they all fell at the same time. Not all snowflakes look alike, but they're definitely not that far off. You understand? It's a system. It's almost like a dog calling someone. They might go, I, just saying, I'm hurt. Or they might go, I. It's still a formation of a code, but it's broken down to give more of a detail. And I didn't do too much. But the reason is I understood all this is because I'm the dog that did it. So things that I'm working on is something like Monopoly and shapes and the size of each, the size of, like, if you wanted to build a Monopoly lot, you would take two squares like this, and this would be the lot. Okay? Now, if you wanted to build a monopoly corner, right, you would have to build a monopoly corner like this. Two of them make a lot, and four of them make a corner. How to turn the corner? Instead of putting a round, you keep it square. Square everything off to start with. You know what I'm saying? Let's start it all by a square. And then, whatever's inside the square, well, what's the difference? We already know the size of the outside. Whatever you shape and do on the inside, it's a little bit different. I'm not talking about the structure, of course, because you can't change the structure. The structure must stand. How does the structure stand? Helium and gravity? What's an element that pulls down but doesn't pull down everything? Can gravity pull down helium? I mean, we're all a little funny in this world. We might all be smelling something out of a balloon. You know what I'm saying? When you drink out of a balloon, I mean, that smoke that air. Well, not smoke that air. Those were part of what was once Rubik's Cube. Everybody see inside that white little thing? Inside the white little thing is a ball. And inside that ball are little things like a transmission, and they go to these pieces over here. And underneath, what you don't see here is a little crown of some sort that holds all these things together. Now, I only found one of them, and it seems like it's only on the center when it does it. When it gets to the center, that's when that thing works. Now, everybody knows on Rubik's Cube, center is center, the side is the side. Every time you move, you do not move the center. If you move the center, it's 12. If you move the outside, it's 21. Doesn't matter which outside. 12 in the center, 21 on the outside. Is that how God did it? 12 and 21, that equals 33 Christ? I guess so. Numbers come together over 2,000 years. Hold on! No, wait a second. I had a dream last night. Something about Christ and number 33. What the fuck was that? The other thing that was in the dream is like this guy named Christ came to earth like 2,000 and something years ago. Fucked up the world. The Jews were scared that he was going to take over, and the Romans were scared he was going to take over. But it was more the Jew, because I saw it a couple of times, it was more the Jewish that was scared than the actual Romans, because the Romans didn't want to kill him right away. But the Jews showed him under the law that he should be crucified for blasphemy. Blasphemy under the rules and laws of somebody who doesn't even know how to count things in the electronic world. Do you think they thought 2,000 years ago this was an electronic world? Or just a world made of wax dummies? Of course it's a world of wax dummies. We're it. We're like the cheese bag. The only thing that kept us popping is that hair that pushes out of our arm and the perspire that we do. The hair that grows and changes colors as we get on in age. We got a little end tubing that pumps out everything we put in, but it puts it into little packages and changes it all the same color, so nobody actually does know what we eat. And then again in life, the real energy is yellow. So when you go and pee, it could be a line too. You could be a bucket of old rusty nuts, eh? And bolts. Bolts and nuts. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? It's a funny thing. I was the only one talking. Could be. So Jesus, 2,000 years ago. In fact, 200 years ago. When was the first light bulb come out? 200-300 years ago? When was a pirate a pirate? And why was he a pirate at all? Why did gems become gems and jewels become jewels? And how did we lose touch with the reality of money? If tomorrow I flew a plane, or I just automatically was able to put $1 billion into every single bank account all over the world, put $1 billion, okay? What would be the first thing most people would do? If I had an island of liberty, that held 5 billion people, okay? If I had an island of liberty that held 5 billion people, but the only thing on this island of liberty, there's only so much you can have. You can eat every day. You can shower and shave and get laid and go to a bar every single day. You can have 1 or 2 boats, but at the end, you spend 4 million. That's all you can have there is 4 or 5 million, but you're not without anything. The island of liberty. You can smoke grass, okay, but there are laws. There are 5 billion people. You want to get laid? Close the door. It's just polite. Do you know what I'm saying? Things like this in the island of liberty. Yes, we can look at porn magazines on the racks, okay, if they're put higher up, but you still got to shut the door if you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And there's kids around. It's not liberty just for the adults, but it's liberty for the kids. And to learn liberty, the only way to survive in the land of liberty is to live the liberty. This is not a land where war survives, where lust survives. It's where unity survives. And liberty is to know what liberty means. Liberty is not a word I can have it all and do it all. Liberty is more of a word of respect, of understanding what you can and shouldn't. And why you shouldn't, I don't like to use the word can't, but don't. Just don't. It's that easy. Then, for those people who are not sure what they want to do, we'll open up an island next to the island of liberty. We'll make it a little bit smaller. And we'll put people over there, and you know what? We'll give them a little bit more liberty over there. Now, the thing is, if you give a little bit more liberty, and it doesn't come without any regulations at all, they can just about do anything at all. So do you put somebody on an island? You can't start that, because once you start that, somebody will always have a reason to drag somebody over just to pop them off to say, oh, I had my liberty there. But did the guy go there willingly? 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 You see, this, in order for this to work, it would take probably another 50 years. But again, I was 17, I was 16, I want to go and have a good time. We were driving a little too fast. The whole thing is, on the island of liberty, it'll be more like a little bit of China. Okay? Metros, highways, as fast as you want to go. Small roads, you park and ride for all the cities. You take a bike home. Okay? There's only so far you can go into the city with an animal called a car. After that, you have to hitch a ride. But instead of having buses with 60 people on it, we'll put a lot more buses with 25 people on it. I mean, it'd be better than having 25 cars. We'd have one bus. And then again, if we spread the jobs out to the country, we could put a bigger bus and bring you out to 30 miles without any traffic. We seem to want to put everything in the city, and I guess that's quite right when so many things are going on in the city. You know, all this court shit that you have to keep transferring papers. Well, we just get rid of the court. Won't have to transfer the papers anymore. Won't need everybody downtown. What about the jobs? Well, you don't need a job. We'll give you a piece of land. You'll grow your own fruit and your own vegetables and whatever it is. And for fridges, if you really want, dig a hole a couple of feet under the ground, and it's 54 degrees all year round, and it's cold enough to store many things at that temperature. How else can we survive? Solar panels. Lots and lots of solar panels. Since we are in an electronic world, maybe it's time for all of us to understand a little bit more about electronics. Not the computer standard way, because that would be a little difficult for now. Well, for me, that, of course. But a little bit about all electricity. And the tilt that we're on. That tilt. We're on that tilt. What else is there to say? What else is there to say? You know what's really, really funny for me? When I stand 10, 15 feet from a picture, okay, I see something else completely different because of the multicolors in most of my designs. I see something completely, and I can redesign the picture from where I am 15 feet away, an animal that only exists because I can see that well from 15 feet away. And I see it right now. I find another one. I find them all the time. Oh, now I just saw a little school bus. I see things all over. But let's see if we can see this one together. Are you still with me? You see that one on the wall? The one in between the two on the top? I'm going to try and bring it in. Where is it? Let me see. Let me see. Give me a second, all right? Can you hang on? Logitech software, Logitech Ops HD. I have no idea where this is. Let me take a guess. Is this it? Okay. I want this. Webcam controller. Get rid of this. And here, I got this. Okay, can you see the one in the middle? It's very foggy. I do not know why. I'm going to try and bring it in a little closer. These are pretty good cameras, eh? Do you see it looks like a half-quarter moon? See in the picture it looks like a quarter moon or a duck? Anyways, it's hard to see. Oh, and then, oh my God, now the whole design looks like 2 ears and a big monster to me. Okay, now, where are we? Where are we? Oh my God. Sorry about that, guys. Can't bring myself out. Yeah, I'm ruining the video. Hey, you see what's in the background? I mean, can you see this? That's a foot, okay? But when you go further away, it's no longer a foot. And you see the tongue? You see the tongue? It's the letter Y separating your big toe and your secondary toe. It also says between 1 and 2, I divide between 5, 7, and 9. And if it was reversed, it says 1, 3, and 5 divided into 8 to heaven. Now this V as a Y, okay, was divided in this fashion. If the Y was divided in this fashion, where we were working on lines, remember I told you lines? Well, this is the corner of the point of this line. That's the corner of the point of that line, and this would be the line in between. But right now I'm working on full squares. This is the whole square for 1. Then this would be the full square for 2. In between says 4 and 5, 1 under 4 under 7, 2 under 5 under 8. Now why did I do it this way? I'm going to try and show you if I can make it a little bit larger and show you what it turns out to be. Okay. You see now it starts out to show you 3 lines and more like the YMCA. It shows you 4 and 5 and 2 and 8 because I'm using 2 numbers. 2 numbers this way and 2 numbers this way. I'm dividing myself on the line. If it was tic-tac-toe and on the line, right, it would end up looking something like this. If we were playing tic-tac-toe on the line. Don't forget about stars and stripes, okay? Because stars and stripes, it's very, very funny because, you see, the letter N is a straight back. The letter Z has a cross 45-degree angle depending on what size the Z is. It could be 22.5 degrees in all in itself. Okay, now I can't really get into this, and I know I'm not going to lose you, but I just want to show you, when you put divide 1 and 2 together, but you bring them together over here, this notation point becomes now the 3 point. Okay? And if this was the 3 point, automatically this would be the 6, and this would be the 9. 3, 6, 9 is 18. You already added the 2 and the 1. Now, if we added them separately, we'd make 21. There's just, I mean, I'm just showing it to you and explaining it this way, but there's so many ways to look at it. I don't know all the ways. And I see it and I say, okay, we can do this or this. Still, what are we looking for? This is like Jeopardy. What are we looking for? We sort of have an answer, but what is the answer for? What does it mean? It only shows in here. Well, obviously, we're going to find what it means. Now, just to finish it off, these are the things I've been going over, looking over, and getting done. I did want to show one other thing. This says to me 5, 7, 9, and this one says to me 1, 3, and 5. Together they create the X. 5 and 5 from 2 world is the 10. The X is the 10 itself in totality, which makes the 20. But I just threw it at you just like that. Roman numerals says one thing, the English alphabet gives it another number, and I'm working on and these are things I went through in the last 60 days. Monopoly and Monopoly shapes, shapes and stars, shapes, stars and letters, letters and games, games and music and stars and shapes, types of music and cards and games and cards and games and types of games, backgammon and Monopoly, not only that, music and games, backgammon and colors. Vehicles and colors and rules and vehicles and colors of laws of liberty of sex and background reversing, buildings, letters, dots and lines, stripes, and shapes and stars and letters and games and stripes and Mahjong movie and war and the Titanic and the bank. Did you ever get to the bank like we did before? Second letter, first letter, fifth letter, 512, memory bank. Did you follow me? 512 MB. Memory bank, BANK 215 with the K at the end, memory bank, because the K is 11, 1 and 1 is 2. Again, bank, okay, bank, and the memory, okay, fit together. So we really do know we have a memory bank right now. Is that not right? Is that not wrong? Then again, we pay interest on money, money that we need, others that they don't, yet they still are not friendly enough to charge us interest because we don't pay back the debts, and we will really never find the real value of something that we borrow if we don't pay it back and get into a little bit of trouble. We have to look under the elements, the wheels of life, the mice, the bees, the common language that most people speak, and understand the signs that we run in. The 40 places on Monopoly have only 22 properties of 5, 6, and 5, and 5, 6, and 5, with 4 corners, 36 spaces, just like the 36 spaces on roulette. Not to count that there are only 36 cards that do not have picture cards when you play any game using a regular deck of playing cards, of course. And like I showed you before, what I showed you, look at the line in here. It's black. It's a black line. I don't know where I saw it. Black line. Okay? Look at her hair. Okay? It's very mysterious, the hair. So we did Monopoly and shapes and stars and letters and games and music and types of cards and games and books and backgammon, color and vehicles, rules and laws and liberty, sex, backgammon, things that are reverse, buildings, things that are in between, letters and dots and lines and stripes and X and O's and S and T's and things that add up to 39 and Mahjong movie and Titanic and war, banks of the 21st century, and the memory bank of the interest of the money that we need, that they don't need, that we don't expect to pay back, of all the elements in the wheels of life. It is the common language of Raphael 7286 and the constellation of Pegasus, the return of the Sith, the understanding of Dragon Ball Z, and the communication that comes within the moon. We have less than 30 days to the 15th of September. What will come in the door? We will see. Maybe between now and then, we'll get another vision that will prompt us on this. But do not forget that I just found out, just 30 seconds ago, coming in from left field, I hear you, bud. Anybody else hear? Must be my video camera not working properly. It's right, it's Rosh Hashanah and Yom keep us poor. Rush, they said. Shine the light and rush us. And then they keep us poor. And at the same time they rush us, we got Russia on the other side of the world, keeping a house next to Syria. So before we let this go at Raphael 7286, a little bit of Monopoly and shapes and stars and letters and games and music and cards and games and plays and backgammon and colors and vehicles and rules and laws and liberty of sex and backwards things and in between, buildings and letters and dots and all, Mahjong movie, Titanic, the war and banks, the bank of the memory, the interest of the money we need, the money they don't, that we don't respect, and the element of the world, the wheel that turns around, the mouse that moves in common language, Raphael 7286. Thank you.